So here we are at the corner of Glen and Butte. Now the bike store is gone from there, and there's a bed and cooking stoves for sale. I think there's a garage at the back. That'll probably be sold at some point. They can go to 6 stories now here. The RSA's been sold. They couldn't get members and they were losing money. And they did that big redevelopment before I came home anyway. But that's been sold for $5 million. Oh no, tender closing. Oh yeah, well there we are, there's the for sale sign there. But I think it has been sold. 5.5 I think they wanted. There's talk of them, RSA, amalgamating with the bowling club. Pudakawa are out. That one's not very bright. There are some very bright ones. I'll get some photos of those for you. They're really stunning this year, and there's been a lot of flower too. There's huge drifts of that red, whatever it's called. More than ever I've ever seen, although it's not warm. So the library's the same. It rained before a while ago and all that green in there was flooded to about a foot. So Bacchus is the same. They've had, I don't know if they've had more leak problems or not, but they haven't been seen them do any work on it. So now we come down on the other side of the road here. There's 3 empty shops in this block now. That was the plastics place at the corner that says MAGA full. They were fools to go in there. They didn't last long and they closed. The bakery's closed. Their rent went to $1,500, $2,000 a week or something phenomenal, Johan told me. And on this side, this is the old, what we call the old New World. So it's going to be developed into a 6-story enormous block of units. So here's the pictures of what it's going to look like. Quite astounding here, because according to this they've got about a 10-foot stud. I think the stud will probably be more about here than up there. It's quite a cunning diagram. It's totally out of scale. So that's what it's going to be. So there's the beach, there's the library down here. It'll tower over the back of the library. It's going to be an absolute monstrosity. Chinese, of course. But they've only sold just over half, I think. See, it's got a huge atrium. There it is again. So that's that. So down in there, that's pretty much the same. There's Ike's, the French bakery, the fish and chip shop. That's much the same. The little $2 shop there on the corner, the yellow hoarding, that's closed. They couldn't make any money. That fruit and veggie is now owned by Indians. So now here we are at the main street. Can never remember what the street's called. So here, that was the pet shop. I don't know if you were here then, but that was the pet shop. They've closed. Although it's say at least get off your fucking phone. They drive with their phones in their hands. So down here, there's good old Wins over there, give me $400 a week. Thomas was still here. The Sushi Place still there. This was the travel agent, which has moved up the street. It's a frozen yogurt place. There were 2. The other one's closed and this one hasn't been open for ages. Oh, that's a pop-up shop. I can't remember what that was. So that's empty. That bar's still there. The only change, oh, that shop's been empty for ages. The only change here really is at the end there. See Ben Gusto, we never went there, not really being cafe latte suckers. But I don't know quite what's happened there. They seem to be going quite well, and it was popular. And then that Indian restaurant opened. There was another Indian restaurant and they went bust. They got done for tax evasion and importing slave labour, basically. They were bringing people from India and paying them $5 an hour. So they got really done. So evidently the Indian people that have bought this one were there about a month or 2 months, and then they bought Ben Gusto. And so they're knocking the two together, which seems pretty strange. But that seems to be what's happening there. So back down here, and we'll join together in a minute.